What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of The Impact Atlanta. This is season 3, episode 3, and let's get right into it. So, we start this episode off with Tucson. He's throwing a party for Ari because he's so excited that she's back in Atlanta, right? Now, we see light skinned Keisha. She's there, Gloss is there, as well as Tori. Here's the thing. Gloss, she says that, at her event, things got a little messy because of Julian. Well, it should be said that things got messy because she brought up the things that Julian said. Now, here's the thing. Tori, when she comes over to the conversation, she admits that her and her man, Rich the Kid, they broke up at the top of the year, but now they're back together. Now, Keisha, she feels like she's in the middle of everything because she's really tight with Julian. And on top of that, like, they work together. She's the one who brought him around, and she gonna ride out for her boy. Now, here's the thing. When Ari shows up, y'all, Keisha, and they're like sitting around this table, right? Keisha says, so, like, what is everybody working on? Just trying to get, like, a general conversation going. And I feel like we got no real answers. Then Tori ends up asking Ari, like, oh, how'd you convert social media into a product? Because we all know that Ari, everybody knew her on social media, and then she started her, I think, a swimwear line as well as her makeup line, right? Now, the question was, again, how does she convert social media into a product? Y'all, why was Ari's response that she just wants to get really rich and then sell her business? Like, girl, what? I feel like this was the one moment where the girls were trying to, have a bigger conversation, and that's your response? Interesting. Like, I would have loved if her response was something along the lines of, oh, I just knew that I had, like, a huge following. I had a lot of supporters, and they would always, say my body looks great. And when I'm on vacation, they would always say I pick out, cute swimsuits. So I figured, why wouldn't I start my own swimwear line or something? Like, making a conversation, not just saying how you want to, sell your business. Like, girl, okay, whatever. So, moving on, Ari, she ends up asking, if they weren't on Instagram, what would they be doing? If they were not on Instagram, what would they be doing? And Keisha's answer was, oh, I would be acting. You're already acting. Like, you're already doing that. Like, I think she means if you weren't doing what you're doing right now, would you be a teacher? Would you be a scientist? Like, a podcaster? Like, what you got going on? I digress. Tucson ends up giving Ari her flowers, and whatever. Moving on, okay? So we see the besties, aka Daybella and Carly. So these two ladies, they are annoyed with Julian. And honestly, I can't even be mad at them for it. Because they feel like, listen, at one point their lives were going in different directions, right? We learned that Daybella, her son is autistic. And honestly, that consumed most of her, her life. She wasn't going out. She wasn't partying. She couldn't just jet set like her friend could. So she was at home being a mom to her child. While Carly, of course, she's on tour with Thug. She's doing this, she's doing that. They just led different lives at that time. I just feel like because these girls have gotten older, you know what I'm saying? They're not 20 years old anymore. I feel like now they can probably balance having a friendship. You know what I'm saying? It seems like there was no love lost when they weren't talking. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and move on. Tucson and light-skinned Keisha meet up. Next thing you know, Ari comes. And Ari over here crying, okay? Because her and Moneybagg Yo, they going through it. Now, honestly, I didn't care about her and Moneybagg going through it because we already knew that they was going to get back together. However, let's get to the tea that Tucson has. Because according to Tucson, Tori, yes, her and her man broke up, but there's also a break baby, okay? I'm just like, Now that's a little different. Now Ari, she says that she's never heard of Julian, so it's interesting to her that Julian is the one who's keeping up the mess and spreading all the drama. Okay, we do get to see Keisha and Ari talk or whatever, and honestly, when I tell y'all, I have no idea what they're talking about. I have no idea. It was like they were talking in code, and I had no idea what was going on. So I'm gonna leave that there. We see Gloss. She's at a photo shoot, and she talks about how, she was with Honcho, but he was still wrapped up in Keisha Cole. So that all kind of backfired. We all saw that on social media, and we saw her and Keisha going back and forth. I think she called like Keisha old and all of this stuff, but it's like Keisha may be old, but Keisha look good, and that man is still messing around with her to this day. So let that be a lesson for you, girl. Next thing though, Tucson, he shows up to support or whatever, and he brings her some of his product. I'm like, okay, promote your stuff. They talk about how they can celebrate their birthdays together, right? So they're like, oh yeah, we can have like a whole little field day. It'll be so much fun. But of course, she wants Carly there. However, he feels like he's just not going to interact with Carly. And baby, we gonna get to that. Moving on, we see Ari. Her and Moneybagg still, they good. They still together. Like, she was just being dramatic. It's weird because she calls him her husband and talks about he's dropping this album, right? I'm like, husband, when y'all get married, girl? When did y'all get married? They talk about the fact that he's going to be going on tour, and now she has to face the reality that he's about to be gone. Yeah, girl, you literally packed up, moved to Miami to be with this man, and now he about to be traveling city to city. Good luck with that. Now, moving on, we see Keisha or whatever, and she's with her team. Okay, cool. She's going to be doing some type of performance for a platform called For Shooters Only, where she's going to, rap her song or whatever. And according to her, she has a viral song on TikTok. Have I heard this song? No. I never heard this song. However, she said that it was, viral. I said, oh, okay, cool. I think she said the song was called Madonna or something. Whatever. She talks to her man or whatever, and she tells him about how Julian is being messy. So, of course, her man don't like her being in the middle of stuff. But also, I'm just like, okay, girl, well, you need to have a serious conversation with Julian and be like, listen, I'm new to this group. You can't be stirring up mess like this. Okay? Because that's just not a good look. Now, here comes Julian or whatever, and according to him, he didn't send Gloss to do anything. Here's the thing, you may not have said, Gloss, go tell the other girls. However, with the information that you came with, you had to have known that she was going to go back and talk to the other ladies, okay? And it's bothering me, y'all, that his whole vendetta against Tori Bricks is that she basically said that all men cheat. And he felt some type of way about that. And I'm just like, so you mean to tell me that because she said that all men cheat, you decided to air out her dirty laundry? Or should I say her man's dirty laundry? You're wilding, okay? So then Keisha, she tries to tell him, like, listen, you need to apologize or whatever. And he decided to sit up there and talk about the fact that, I don't respect insecure women. Sir, what are you talking about? You don't even know Tori to say that she's insecure or that you shouldn't even respect her. Like, I don't understand. So Keisha's suggestion is that Julian talk to Gloss and Tori. Me personally, I want Julian off the show. Like, not trying to be funny, but he is not doing anything for him to be on the show. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess he's about to be what, the new Tucson? The new sidekick? We already got one of those. We don't need any more. Moving on from that, we get the birthday field day, right? Now, honestly, I was surprised that everybody was there to participate, okay? Especially Ari. I mean, the girl was out there actually playing in the field. I said, oh, okay, girl. Did not expect that. Now, we see Tucson, he has this megaphone, right? And he just walking around, being a bully, yelling in the mic. And honestly, he's rubbing everybody the wrong way because the things that he's saying are like super negative, right? Now, he finally ends up giving the megaphone to Gloss, right? However, she's not the kind of girl that's going to be yelling into a megaphone and being messy and all of that stuff. That's just not her vibe. However, she ends up giving the megaphone to Carly. Because y'all know, Carly can talk, right? So, as fast as she got it, Tucson runs up, snatches it from her hand, and now Carly's pissed off because it's like, dude, why'd you even snatch that from my hand? Like, it wasn't that deep. He probably could have just been like, hey, actually, I'm going to take my megaphone back. And she probably would have handed it over, considering it was his. Like, come on. So, one thing that stood out to me was the fact that they were going back and forth, and he yelled out to her, I'm leaving you like Young Thug. I said, okay, no, that was out of line. That was absolutely out of line. Now, I will say this. It was his megaphone, though. It was his megaphone. However, this whole situation was not that deep. So, baby, the game is finished, okay? There's no more playing the game. They didn't even finish. And Ari, she feels like Tucson was wrong, which I agree. Keisha and Julian, they show up or whatever. And Daybella is like, so why did you have all that stuff to say about me and Carly? And his response was absolutely giving backpedaling. Because I feel like Daybella, she was definitely going to give him the business and put him in his place. So he's like, I just heard y'all fell out and I just didn't know if you guys were really friends again. And I also caught that dig where he was like, I was like 13 when you guys were like popping and all of that. I'm just like, okay, great. So now you try to age shame the girls? I see you, boo. I see you. Like, Julia really sat up there and was just lying. Talking about how he wasn't talking about Tori. And I'm just like, yeah, you were. And then I got even more confused because it's like, why are you feeling some type of way? Because this woman said that all men be cheating out here. So you decide, because you're upset at that you're going to retaliate. And then you told Gloss about your friend. I'm just like, so you might as well bring your friend on the show so that way she can tell Tori how she's sleeping with her man. How about that? So, some type of way, out of all of this, Tori and Julian hugged. I said, how? How are you hugging him? Girl, don't trust him. Like, be so for real. Now, in all of this mess, I will say that Gloss seems like she's a really nice girl who ain't really with the mess. If you tell her somebody else's business, she gonna go tell the other person, like, listen, this is what so-and-so saying about you. So you might want to confront them. And I get it. Because, especially on these reality shows, it's always someone's talking mess about somebody else, and then we have to wait for the person to confront them. So, okay, Gloss is getting the girls to confront the issue when she heard about it. I can respect it. Now, moving on to this last part, y'all. Ari, she takes her precious time to present Tucson with a gift of $20,000. Yes, the same $20,000 that these two have been beefing about online, okay? Because she supposedly gave him this big check for $20,000. So we already know he gonna start doing the most and all of this. And one thing that I can respect is the fact that Ari pulled him to the side and called him out about what happened with Carly. Because he was dead wrong. Like, it was never that serious. She's a woman. Like, dude, chill out. Now, he sits up there and he lies. Talking about I didn't snatch it from her. I didn't snatch it from Carly. I took it from Gloss. No, you didn't. You snatched it straight out of Carly's hand. Stop playing, because you trying to make it seem like she's lying on you. And that's not what's happening. And then he decides to flip it and be like, you know what, I don't even care because I don't like her. It's like, you're so childish. That man is childish. So, in Ari's confessional, she talks about how, Tucson basically just wants to be the center of attention. And I completely agree with that. I feel like he's so used to being in the shadows of Ari and Tay. However, his whole career, I guess you could say, has been trying to prove that he's somebody. And he's still doing it. He's still trying to prove that he's somebody. Tucson, get it together. But y'all, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about it in the comment section. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.